in this chapter, we are essentially doing the reverse of what we were doing before. Okay? So before, we'd have something like this, some 2x, and then that might be multiplied by an x plus 3. Okay, now this is going to give us a binomial for an answer. So we got 2x times x. That gives us 2x squared. And we have 2x times 3. So that gives us a plus 6x. Okay, so now we're learning how to go in the other direction. Okay, so now we're going to start with this. And we're going to break this down or factor it. Okay, so if I look here, okay, and I look here, I'm trying to figure out what these two have in common. Okay, so I can see that I can divide 2 by 2 and 6 by 2. Okay, but then also we've got an x and an x in both terms. Okay, so what you essentially are doing is you're dividing each term by 2x. Okay, so over here we go ahead and we write our 2x, and then when I divide 2x squared by 2x, I'm left with x, and 6x divided by 2x, I'm left with 3. And we're back to whatever we had right here. Okay, so we're learning the same exact process but in reverse. Okay, so let's go over example 6.1. Okay, now in example 6.1, we are finding the greatest common factor. Greatest common factor. We also call this the GCF. Okay, and we're finding the greatest common factor of 21 x to the third, 9x squared, 15x. Okay. And all this is essentially asking is, what is the biggest thing that can fit into each one of these? Okay. Now you might look at this and have an answer already, but let's say these are huge numbers. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this for any single number. Eventually, we'll be at the point where we can do this in our head. But right now, we're going to learn how to do it the long way. So what you do is, I like to write my numbers in order from smallest to largest. So I'm going to do that. So I'm looking at the smallest number out of these three. Okay, 9 is the smallest number. We're going to ignore the x's for now. 9 is the smallest number. So that's what I'm going to write first. So I've got my 9x squared, and then 15x is the next biggest number, and then 21x to the third. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're breaking these numbers down into their prime factorization. So, smudge that 15 a little bit. So 9 breaks down into 3 times 3. Okay, we'll forget about the x's for now. We got 3 times 3. 15. Well, 15 divides into 3 times 5. So we'll go ahead and put our 3 here in the first available spot. Notice I didn't put my 3 here. Okay, it goes in the first available spot. Okay, now you might be saying, oh, am I going to put my 5 right here? Nope. You only put numbers here that are the same as the number above them. Okay, so I'm going to put my 5 here. Okay, organization is everything on these. All right, ignore the x for now. Then 21. Well, 21 is 3 and 7. Okay, skipping these columns, and I'm going to put my 7 over here. And now we can go back to the x's. So on my first one, notice how I'm putting my x in its own column, and we have 2, so we're going to write x twice. 15x, we only have 1 x. 21x cubed, we have 3 x's, so we're going to write all 3. Okay, and now this is the easiest step. All I have to do now, since I front-loaded all my work, is find my complete columns. So I've got this column of 3's, this column of x's. So guess what my greatest common factor is? 3x. It's 3x. So now each one of these can, if we rewrite them, can all be written in terms of 3x. So let's do that. So 9x squared, okay? Let's go ahead and put our 3x. And now you'll see, so we have 3x, and then I'm asking what times 3x will give me 9x squared? Some of you may know, but if you don't know, you can come over here and look at what's not circled. 3x. So 3x times 3x is 9x squared. Do the same thing with 15x. Okay, so 3x times 5, 15x. 3x times 7 times x gives me 21x cubed. So 7x squared would be 21x cubed. Okay, so just so we're clear, this would be your greatest common factor. This is me just showing you how to write each one of these terms using that greatest common factor.